Greetings and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As usual, Rich is doing another video on XRP today. I hope everyone is having a great day wherever they are in the world. We will be talking about XRP, and once more, this is the one-day chart. Right now, we are sitting at $3. Additionally, just a short while ago, XRP fell slightly below $3, but as of right moment, it's still holding up really nicely. Take a look at Bitcoin, which is currently dumping out and has dropped all the way to $115,506. The market as a whole is turning red. However, we already know what comes next. The market is going to recover. Now expect to complete 180. You do nothing in these situations. You can either purchase this dip or take no action. And a lot of people are claiming that the sell-off is taking place as a result of Trump's new tariff list being released. Numerous nations are impacted by high reciprocal rates. Syria 41%, Laos 40%, Switzerland 39%, and more. The market may be declining as a result of these tariffs which go into force today. However, it took some time for the market to adjust to tariffs. The market would remain unaffected even if he discussed tariffs. However, it's possible that the market is adapting to this time. XRP could confirm a long-awaited trend reversal if it finishes above $3.03 today, which would be its biggest monthly closing ever. However, we have already closed above a record high. Therefore, it appears that we will go upward from this point. As I mentioned, the market will completely turn around and recover. Xrp, an expert, forecasts that between August 23rd and September 7th, XRP will rise to $7 to $15. Claims that $4 to $5 might occur at any time. As I mentioned, there's a significant probability that it will rise above $4 when the market recovers. I concur with that. By September, do you think we'll hit double digits? It's more plausible, in my opinion. I believe the Fed will lower rates in September and October. That will have a significant impact on the market. By then, a lot of other catalysts might also be at work, passing the Clarity Act. By that time, perhaps the Ripple vs. SEC lawsuit is resolved. I predict that XRP will likely reach double digits during October. That's my timescale, my guess. Begin to unfold sooner, things will shift. However, that is a possibility. The job involves negotiating agreements with asset managers, tokenization platforms, stable coin suppliers, and other participants. Ripple is the president of Partnerships DF for its Ripple XDV, which is similar to Ripple's spreading to large institutions. Since Ripple has already established the framework for moving anything of value from point A to point B, I believe that institutions will simply pour into the XRP ledger as it pursues institutional adoption. What would make them select a different network? Although I don't guarantee that all tokenization will end up on the XRP ledger, I do believe that a sizable amount will. Some will wind up on XLM, XDC, Hedera, and so on. However, all of this will also occur in the upcoming months. Await the arrival of the institutional funds. Things are going to go better that fast. We will reach double digits sooner rather than later after that institutional money comes into this area. Project Crypto, a commission-wide initiative to update securities laws and connect the US financial markets, is unveiled by SEC Chair Paul Atkins. And Ripple is also interested in doing that. I recently talked about this yesterday in a video where David Schwartz discussed how everything is coming on-chain. I'll go into further detail about that in a video later today. However, the SEC's next major initiative will be to promote tokenization in the US given their current desire to advance this. And Smoke is the source of this. The initiative to shift all markets on-chain is being started by the SEC. This is the global debt tokenization total addressable market. $268 trillion is made up of $187 trillion in real estate funds, $20 trillion in private equity, $7 trillion in securities, $42 trillion in trade finance, and $12 trillion. Now consider moving the price of XRP doesn't require a lot of money. Imagine that the price will move quickly once all of this value begins to appear on the XRP ledger. Anyone who has ever questioned if XRP will reach the $100, $1,000, or even $10,000 price point will be shocked when the price of the cryptocurrency actually begins to move. And this will occur prior to 2030. They only offer you that amount of time. All of this is already taking place far earlier. You don't sit on the sidelines for this reason. The institutions haven't arrived yet, but they are on their way, as I have stated several times. And for the first time ever, as XRP investors, we outperformed the institutions here, and that's a huge problem. You will either be priced out of XRP or you will have to purchase it at exorbitant prices once the institutions arrive. The dirty little secret is that the Bitcoin strategic reserve will not be nearly as significant as the national digital asset stockpile. They are aware of it. On the right, enter the US Treasury stage. Listen to Bo Hines by clicking this link. As I've stated time and time again, we want to accumulate as much as we can. Additionally, the SBR executive order outlines these budget-neutral strategies. The national stockpile of digital assets is another resource that supports other ecosystems and projects being developed in other parts of the world. We have highly intelligent people in the administration working on this, as the president loves to say. I believe that we will proceed with accumulating strategies that can be put into action as quickly as possible. And I believe that what we come up with will be highly appreciated by the public. Nevertheless, I also urge people to realize that this also involves infrastructure. In order for us to proceed and make investments, Treasury is working hard to ensure that everything is put up correctly. Treasury run infrastructure item. They are aware of what is required to advance the United States. They are already aware of the impending events. For this reason, they brought up the cross-border payments multi-report from the W regarding infrastructure. T asset and keeping it for the asset increases the amount of debt. The rest of the world will follow the United States, you know. Every other nation will follow suit once the US has a digital dollar that can travel around the globe in a couple of seconds for less than a penny. Because it will have a network impact in every other nation, XRP will eventually become the bridge currency of the world. But since they are now expediting everything, it will begin in the United States. They're playing catch-up after failing to make any progress for the past 4 years. In summary, the Treasury may restrict foreign stable coins that do not comply with the Genius Act through Tether, and it might be the final outcome. Tether is currently developing a new stable coin that is appropriate for the US market, however, it is now late for the game. The RLUSD is already becoming more popular. In the US, USDC has also developed a lot of popularity. And because we already know that Tether has been printing USDT out of thin air for years, why would anyone want to use their new stable coin if their normal USDT is banned from the US? And perhaps this is the final game. Perhaps the Treasury will intervene in this situation, bring down Tether, and take Bitcoin with it. Bitcoin won't ever drop to zero now. This is what I'm going to tell you now. Simply put, it won't matter. It won't get the same level of attention as it does now. It will say something like, alright, you have Bitcoin. Fantastic, and perhaps individuals begin using the XRP, Ledger, or other networks to transact in Bitcoin. But compared to these utility-driven cryptocurrencies, it won't be as significant. After the Clarity Act is passed, this change will take place. When we achieve clarity in this area, Bitcoin will become irrelevant. Because this cryptocurrency is a utility token once you start calling it that. Who will continue to purchase speculation? All of them will desire to purchase genuine worth. Here we are at this moment, and I concur. With Bitcoin, we're most likely at that point. I believe we are at this point, for all coins. The location of the recent shakeout. I believe that the only thing we have witnessed thus far is a correction in altcoins, particularly XRP. We still have a long way to go, in my opinion. Furthermore, this pullback which we have consistently observed in past runs, may not even occur this time. This time, I wouldn't even expect that to occur. Not when so much institutional funding is coming into this area. These utility-driven coins will have even greater utility, thanks to the institutions. It will be similar to the dot-com period, when only a small number of businesses remained when the bubble burst. The crypto industry will experience the same issue. There are only a few cryptocurrencies that will become the future. XRP is going to be a